Okay, so today I'm going to debone a rotisserie chicken, and you will never believe that it only takes about 20 minutes to do this correctly. First thing I'm going to do, this chicken, I've let it cool almost all the way because it's actually not best to do this when the chicken is still warm. So I'm going to get a bowl here for the skin and the other parts that I'm going to use undoubtedly to make something super fancy. And I've got a second bowl over here that I'm going to use to put the actual meat in. Obviously the first thing you want to do, proper management of disease, wash your hands. Over here, wash my hands. So this should take approximately 1 minute. Don't forget to take your watch off. All right, now I'm gonna dry my hands real good. Okay, so that's essential. All right, now we're gonna do this in about 20 minutes. I did take a bite earlier, so that's why part of this is missing, but I was hungry. You really can't blame me. All right, so this is nice and cool, which is why it's pulling away so easy. So really you wanna get in here and get every single little part of this that can be used. And I like eating the skin, so I'm gonna keep most of this except for this like little tendon, like that one's kind of hard. This part here is gonna go in the garbage. You gotta really make sure you're being thorough about this because this animal gave its life for you to be picking through it. All good, good meat. Good. Good. There's like another little bone in here somewhere. I don't know where, but we'll find it within the next 20 minutes here. We're good. Now, if you're me, the only thing that makes this worth eating is the skin. So you're definitely gonna put the skin with the edible parts. Look at that, we've almost cleaned this leg out. I'm actually going a little bit fast. If I keep this up, it's gonna be under 20 minutes, and we definitely don't want that. Alright. I don't know what any of that is. Some of that's okay. I thought there was another bone in here, but evidently not, so. That's one leg almost down. Here's the other half of the leg. Sometimes they put this string here. I may have mentioned that this chicken is from Sam's Club. So the goal is to get the one with the lightest skin and the biggest one that you can find. So typically I will eye up the rotisserie chicken aisle. Find the largest rotisserie chicken that they have that it looks very undercooked. Like you don't want any of like the dark caramelized skin. Unfortunately, this was the lightest one they had by the time I got there today. All right, so this is like the thigh, and this is all dark meat. I should have let this cool a little bit longer. It's only been sitting out on the counter since I brought it home at around, what was that, maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock. Skin, I love the skin. We're gonna eat that. We're gonna worry about heart problems later. So it's almost midnight right now, which means that this has only been sitting out on the counter for like the last 6 hours. So best case scenario, let it sit out on the counter overnight to really cool down. You can throw it in the freezer before you debone a chicken. That really helps. But this part's a real pain in the ass. Trying to get all this meat off of here without grabbing the harder parts like the tendon or the bone. See how thorough this is? Like this is whatever you call that stuff, like cartilage. But other than that, I've gotten, missed a spot. I've gotten all, missed that. I've gotten all the meat off of here. So we're not being wasteful. Good. I wouldn't eat that. Okay, so that's one leg. Now we're gonna do the wings. These are very useful. They have a lot of meat on them if you just try to get it off. Some people may not think that this is worthwhile, but believe me, people go to restaurants just to order this part of the chicken. So it's tied onto there. And you can keep this string, use it as dental floss. Okay. All right, so good meat. Good. There's a lot of like nasty kind of like squelching noises. So if you are faint of heart, when you debone a chicken, play some music or something so you don't have to listen to the animal's flesh coming apart. Yeah, that's no good. Look at all that meat that we just got pulled off of here. See how thorough that is? Just cartilage and bone left. That's lost cause. Okay, this skin's gross for some reason. All right, so now we're gonna get into the wing. Push up that meat. That meat. Here's a bone. Pull that meat away from the bone. Pull the bone in here. That's too hard. I would not put that in my mouth. That's what she said. Put that in there. I wouldn't eat that. Then they're not gonna get anything off there. Okay, so we are done with the first leg and first wing. We're being nice and thorough. This is all good. All right, so now it's time to get into the breast. The best way to do this thoroughly is to pull off the meat up front here, get down to the wishbone. Again, we're keeping the skin on because life is not worth living if you can't eat chicken skin. So we've just pulled off like the first layer, top layer of meat along the top front of the chicken. You'll notice there's like a shark fin type thing going on here. So we're gonna just go along that shark fin, go in with your nails. This is why I don't eat chicken deboned by people who have fake nails or paint their nails. By the way, I don't want little pieces of that in my chicken salad sandwich. All good. 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 We're leaving some meat on there right now, but that's okay because we're gonna come back and really get in there and make sure that we're cleaning it out thoroughly. Because I know you're looking at the time right now and you're saying, wow, this looks like it's gonna take a lot less time than 20 minutes, sorry. But no, it's not, it's gonna take 20 minutes. Looks good. It's at this point that if you have pets, in my case cats, they are going to hear the squelching noises of this bird that you're cleaning, and they're going to start to scratch at the door of your kitchen if you're lucky enough to have a door. I live in a 1950s home, so there's a door in every freaking room in this place. And then they're gonna try to climb their way into it. They are currently clawing at the underside of the door, meowing, and otherwise throwing a fit. What they don't know is that they are getting none of this, because it is too time consuming to share this with your pets. If it takes 20 minutes to debone a chicken, I'm not gonna give that to my pets. That's gross, okay. You may notice that there's like a lot of like gravy looking stuff here on the bottom. That's a fat-free gravy. You can utilize that if you're trying to lose some weight or you are on a fat-free diet. Also, if you're listening carefully right now, you can hear my cats destroying my door, trying to get in here, and crying. You're fine. Anyway, yeah, you can utilize that gravy on the bottom of this for like a, you know, healthy gravy alternative rather than that fat-free crap they sell at the store. Okay. Almost. We really want to get all the meat out of here. Okay. All right, so you can see I've cleaned this part pretty well. There's no meat in here. This is just like weird other stuff. Like, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I think this chicken had skin flaps or something. Anyway, this is like the last good piece of meat on this side. The rest of this is crap. Like, I wouldn't eat, I love skin, I wouldn't eat this. It's been sitting in the fat-free gravy, so it's like slimy and disgusting and not something that I would eat. I'm just saying something because I normally would not say no to chicken skin. By the way, if you thought I had to wash my hands for a long time at the beginning of this, just wait until we are almost done with this, because I have got this stuff all up in my nails. And it is disgusting, which is why I don't normally like to debone chickens. Not only is it super time consuming, but this process is extremely messy. And did I mention disgusting? All right, so one of the things that you definitely want to make sure you pick out of here is the wishbone. So you can save this, you can hand it to little kids, they'll have a blast. Like, just tell them that this is the inside part of an animal, and that some people will refer to it as the wishbone, and then tell them to break apart the bone. So like one child holds one side of it, another child holds the other side, and then they just tear at it, and whoever gets the bigger piece of broken bone is the winner, and their wish wins. And if you have heard of anything more American than that, I'd like you to leave it in the comments. All right, so some of this meat is not real good. It's almost the kind of thing you would see McDonald's use in chicken nuggets. So I'm not gonna bother with most of that, but I am gonna bother with this part right up here. Right around here, and I'll get to that leg in a minute. Or I guess part of it's gonna come off right now. That's gross, I will not eat that. So this is the other, I ate a wing earlier and also put my fork in the top front half of the chicken breast and ate like a caveman barbarian because I was hungry and it was dinner time. But I left part of this wing. Oh, any of that good? Yeah, some of that's good meat. So I'm gonna pull that out right now. I'm gonna put that in there, that's good. See, if you have to pull it real hard from the bone, it's probably gonna be like this filmy, tendony crap that nobody wants to eat, so I wouldn't go that far. So there's a happy medium between being wasteful with the carcass and being so overly resourceful with it that you are saving parts of it that you should not. All right, so it's these like little itty bitty parts here that are pretty time consuming to pull apart. But we're almost done. We're getting this done in record time today. So that's it on that wing. I think that the carcass is pretty well stripped. In there you can see some other things, parts and things. And I don't eat that, and I don't feed that to my cats or anything. We just kind of let that go. Nobody really talks about what's in there because it's gross. All right, so that's gonna go over here. Looks like a dragon. Gotta have some fun, folks. All right, now last thing we're gonna do here, besides keep all of this fat-free gravy, and dump this in with the chicken we're keeping, because it's gonna help keep it moist. And we're gonna eat all of that when we serve it. We're just gonna pull apart this last leg. Okay, that bone's nice and clean. Nobody will be able to say they have a bone to pick with you, because it was already done. Good meat, good meat. We got a little bit of stuff there we don't want. Some of that extra fat we don't want on there. Gone. Look at all that good skin. This is good for you too. Good for your hair and your nails. Good for your soul. All right. Gross. This is going in. Almost done, almost done. There we go. There we go. All right. Now we just wash our hands. Preferably with dish soap. Then we drink our beer and call it a night. Cheers.